afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Want to share with you guys another fragrance house today. I have reviewed this brand a while back, kind of did an unboxing. I want to come back and now start to individually review each fragrance. So this one is called Firewitch. This is by a brand that goes by the name of Sucreabeille. I think I'm saying that right, or Sucreabeille. I've heard it pronounced both ways. And this house, you know, my first impression, it's like kind of like, and sometimes I want to be careful with what I say because I don't want you guys to get an impression and to be like, oh, it's not for me, because there's lots of different fragrances they make. But if you've ever been to a Hot Topic, there's that gothic kind of feel. They all have a certain odor. This is a brand that I wouldn't be surprised if you might see in Hot Topic, but I don't know if they are contracted with any actually brick and mortar stores. But there is just a darkness to this. If you like things like, you know, like gothic and leather and like Chris Angel style, and you like, what else, like, you know, like some of the vampire movies, and what's the other one with the gal that I really like, with the werewolves and the lichens. I'm drawing a blank, but there's just this darkness about this brand. Now they are an indie house, so again, you're not going to find them in to the best of my knowledge, brick and mortar stores. You have to kind of go on the hunt and find this stuff. So, but these are the brands that really excite me because they really take a lot of pride in each scent that they make, and there's a real story. Now, you guys know, if you watch my other videos, when I hear about people doing note breakdowns, I call BS a lot of times on that, because when you have a note breakdown, a lot of guys will read the notes and then, you know, create this story. First, what do I get with this? So first, I can really get that opening with the full, you know, they give this like bullshit story that a lot of times I don't think the average person like myself gets all that. You know, most time when I smell a fragrance, I get a vibe. I get maybe a reminder, a memory, or something that I associate with that for my life. And then I get, you know, what, do I like it? Do I not like it? And you know, if I have worn it, what is the longevity like, of course. But then also, like, I usually get a vibe and a few notes, you know. And that's, I think a lot of us kind of treat fragrances that way. I don't know if we can really, if we're being honest with ourselves, really be able to break down every single note that's listed that we smell, you know. As I smell things, sometimes they'll call a scent, this is a vanilla scent, and you look and there's no vanilla in the note. So it's very difficult to really pinpoint each note, but I'm going to give you my best interpretation of what I get. So again, this one's called Firewitch. You can check out the label, very gothic, very dark. We have a kind of a witch, you know, in the flames, and I love this about this brand. There's just an eeriness to it. So I'm going to read you. Well, I'm going to read you the notes, but I'm not going to read you the entire themed breakdown because it is four or five paragraphs, and it's pretty lengthy. And I do encourage you to read it. So I'm going to put the link in the description, and I do, again, after the video review or during, read about it and see what they say about their fragrance and see what journey they want you to take with this fragrance. And I love that because sometimes when you read this stuff, it helps you to appreciate the fragrance more when you get it, when you understand where the perfumer was coming from when they made this. So they're going to take you on a journey. And again, I don't mean to sound like I don't like when guys do the note breakdown journey. I get that, but being realistic, are you going to smell all that? Probably not. But I do appreciate the journey nonetheless. So, all right. So what do we get? We have the scent notes of burning leaves, gunpowder, leather, cardamom, and clove. Very strange note breakdown. Very, very cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and smell it and see what most of our fragrances are roller balls, which I do like the fact that they are easy to apply. Spray is always a lot easier, but still roller balls will work. Very strange, very strange. So I like to, when I do a fragrance review, I like to smell it and then kind of give you guys the vibe that I get first. Does it? All right, so and I apologize, I got a little cold going on here. All right, so this is interesting to me. This kind of like reminds me of Halloween, to be honest with you. There is something like, and I think it's because like when we come into the fall, we start to smell the leaves and fireplaces are going. You know, we start to get that briskness of the weather, and I'm going to take you on my journey, okay? And we start to get those burning leaves and the smell that we're just getting close to the cold weather, you know? It's funny, I always get really excited about October, but for years, our weather has been absolutely terrible in October. It's more like winter. So I do have memories, though, where we have that nice, like almost, you know, warm, ish fall time where the leaves are starting to turn. You start to smell the fireplaces and the leaves being burned. Just the changing of the seasons, what we associate with that. Getting close to Halloween and the eeriness that comes with Halloween. Scary movies. So the biggest notes that I get, the gunpowder reference, I can kind of get that. I do. When I think of when I've gone shooting, and you smell that kind of gunpowder, or black, gunpowder blast, there's a certain smell that your hand sometimes will have afterwards, and definitely a smell. I definitely get that, and it's hard to describe unless you fired a gun before. You know what gunpowder smells like. This has that vibe, absolutely. It does have the leathery notes, and a lot of times when people say this is a leathery fragrance, a lot of times that's overshadowed by other notes. I definitely get the leather note in this. It's very apparent. Smelling this, it doesn't smell like what I associate with like a new leather belt from like a good, like let's say you go into a Western shop with a lot of leather saddles. When I smell certain leather smell, for instance, the brand new holster and belt combo I got from Craft Holsters took me right there as soon as I smelled it. It has that smell of this Western store I used to go to as a kid where they had saddles and lots of leather goods. And there's a certain like Western leather smell that I associate with the new holster, right? This doesn't really have that particular leather smell, but it's leathery, and I can't. It doesn't smell like a leather jacket leather. It just you can tell it's a leathery fragrance, and you get that burning leaves and gunpowder, and I just put it on my nose. Damn. With the cardamom, there's definitely a little bit of a kind of a spicy quality to it, but that's about it. That's a really. I think that with these fragrances, because the note breakdown is more simple. What do we have? We only have 5 different notes. I definitely can pinpoint it, and a lot of times you can't do that with a fragrance. You can't really say, I get those burning leaves. I can smell that gunpowder. I can smell that leather. I can smell the cardamom. I get the clove. With their brands, I've noticed with other fragrances I've reviewed with them, you can, So it's a very simple note breakdown. Whether you'll like the fragrance or not is to be determined, but it is a very interesting scent. It's not one that I would think that, you're going to... It's not one of these fragrances that I think you're going to smell and say, ooh, you're not going to have that vibe to it, but you're going to have an interesting smell. Whereas it's going to be subjective whether somebody's going to say, ooh, you smell good, or ooh, you smell unique, or you smell different. And I think with this brand, what I like about it, and I'm sure with the hundreds of different fragrances they have, the many that I have sitting on the table here, you're going to have ones, of course, that are going to be compliment getters, of course. Then you have ones that just kind of inspire a conversation. And I think that this is kind of one of those fragrances that if you want to smell unique, and to me, I always enjoy the journey of finding new fragrances and smelling unique. And let's face it, when a lot of guys will say this is a compliment getter, I don't know if a lot of times those guys are necessarily being honest in that, because unsolicited comments are pretty rare in my opinion. Now I'm not in a situation where I go out a lot, you know what I mean? So I'm not around a lot of people at this point in my life. So that is a factor in that. I don't know if I was constantly around folks if you would get those compliments, but I can tell you the times where I was around people a lot, usually people don't give unsolicited comments. So I don't really know if it's a really great way of, unless you have the rapport with people that you're around. Let's say you work with a bunch of people and you have a lot of rapport. It is kind of an awkward thing, especially for a male to say to another male, ooh, you smell good, right? That doesn't happen very often. I'm a very confident, kind of bold guy, and even myself, if I smell somebody smells good, there is a hesitation there. If I really like it enough, I'm going to have to be like, yo, what are you wearing? Because I most likely want to purchase it, But I think that when people say this is a compliment getter, I don't know if they're necessarily being honest with that, whether they have like evidence to back it up. Like, oh, I wore this and today I went out to the mall and I got 6 compliments. Like I've been to plenty of places, and I don't. People just don't come up to me, and I know I smell good. I know I'm wearing ones that are considered these huge compliment getters, and unsolicited comments don't really happen all that often. Now, that might be maybe where I live. There's lots of factors in play there. Maybe my look. Maybe I don't look very approachable. What? I mean, who knows? But I don't think that, I don't think that's really a fair assessment on whether or not something smells good or not if it's a compliment getter. But I know it is used pretty widely in the fragrance community. Is it a compliment getter or not? And that kind of like makes it out to be like, oh, well, if it's a compliment getter, it must be a good fragrance. That's not always the case. Remember, it's all about what you like. So really the only way to really know if you're going to like something is to take a chance on it, and this note breakdown is definitely something that is a daring chance, in my opinion. You have to kind of be a fragrance fanatic to say, all right, well, I'm going to make the decision to purchase this. Now, for me, it's easy because they were nice enough to sponsor me and send me several videos, and I picked out ones that looked interesting because I am a guy who likes those masculine, darker, manly fragrances. And although I think a woman could wear this, I think this is definitely geared towards more of a man. It is kind of a strange note breakdown. It is kind of a strange odor, but it is pretty cool, and I think that this kind of fragrance is the kind of note. The kind of notes that, although the thing is, it's when you say Firewitch, it's not really, in my opinion, marketed towards a man. And I think that something like this would be better suited to be marketed, maybe something a little more unisex. Because I don't know if a lot of men would be like, ooh, let me try the Firewitch. You know what I mean? I think that most men would probably be like, if this was like, I don't know, without being ridiculous, I haven't company name, but let's say you had something that was more like, I don't know, fireman or man on fire, something like that. You know what I mean? It's something that's just a little bit more masculine, because I do feel like these notes. Again, I don't want the ladies to come back and be like, "Wait a minute, that's sexist." Ladies, I know you can wear whatever you want. I know there's lots of ladies out there who are just as masculine as men who are just as feminine as women. I understand that. You can wear whatever you like, but but I do think that when we think of leather and gunpowder and burning leaves, we think of an outdoors, rough kind of man, right? And I don't mean that to sound overgeneralized, but you get hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. So, but it is, gentlemen, a very interesting fragrance if you do like guns and woods and burning leaves. I think you'll dig this. So check it out. So that's it, guys. I do want to thank Sucreabeille, screw this up, for their generosity again. I'm hoping to work with them again. Sometimes a company will send me stuff, and then, depending on the return, they may or may not want to do that again. But I think that this brand, when you look at the amount of people reviewing this on YouTube, they're mainly women, and they are geared towards women. And I think that they're kind of losing out on a good percentage of the population. Guys, we know what we like. We're frag heads, right? There's nothing funner than that journey of getting a new fragrance, seeing the UPS truck come up or something, and knowing you got that new fragrance you want to check out. Like, it's awesome, I think we can all, whether you like me or you like different fragrances than me, or you hate me or whatever it may be, I think we all can relate. If you are a fragrance collector, we all love that excitement. It's like Christmas morning of seeing that truck come up and knowing where you're getting that fragrance. So pretty fun, and I think that this company, because they make so many fragrances, I think that they're doing themselves a disservice by not, marketing a little bit more towards men as well. So, and I'm saying that they don't, but when I go to YouTube and I search Sucreabeille, I see, well, there I am. I see 99% women. I feel I'm the only man reviewing this. So, I think it's something that, I think that's important to realize that recognize this is not just a woman's brand. Like, these are masculine men's fragrances as well. They are unisex, and I encourage you to check them out. If you do check them out, it's amazing how many they have. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have a request and you're like, hey, I'd love to smell that, I'll try to reach out and get my hands on it and see what it's all about. As far as the other fragrance I do have, we have the Firewitch, we have Kitchen Witch. No, that's sexist. Just kidding. We have chloroform, almost illegal. We have this one here. Actually, have I got it stuck in here. This one here is goth as fuck. I wanna. Oh yeah. See, this one, to me, this one's hot topic. I mean, and I actually have the shower kind of lather, which is, it's a great scent. I mean, we have impending doom. We have venom. And we have Let's Be Bad Guys. That one does kind of sound a little bit, a little bit feminine. But, these are, again, unisex fragrances. And I think you guys will really like them. Gentlemen, if you check out the brand, they are unisex. So I'm going to reach back out to them later today and just kind of give them my thoughts. And I do want to I don't normally mention other channels, but I do want to point out one gal I want you to check out her video. We'll just search for Sucreabeille. And she's kind of got the goth look. and her channel is Coyote West, and very small channel, but did a review on just a perfume haul from them. And I think it's a good representation of kind of like, if you are kind of gothic and you're watching this, you stumble upon this, definitely, and you're looking for kind of interesting scents, definitely check out their brand. And I like the fact that she referred to these as spooky and amazing scents. And that's the point on why I mentioned your video, because they are kind of spooky and amazing. I think that's a really great way of describing kind of like this line. There is a spookiness to a lot of it, you know. And again, if you've ever checked out like the 69 Eyes band, him, those gothic kind of bands, that image, I think this brand, you know, definitely, I can see, you know, how this brand can be kind of labeled as spooky. Now, I have to tell you another thing with this particular fragrance is when I look at their website, as far as price on this, for 1 ounce is $50. So they're not cheap. If you want to get a small, let's see, the dram is, I'm not sure what size it is, 5 milliliter bottles, $18. Dram is $15. 10 millimeter rollerball, 10 milliliter rollerball is $22. You get perfume oils, or you can get eau de parfums, and then you have samples for $7. So I do just want to state that when you go to their website, it's kind of one of these brands that, I'm trying to word this the right way. When you go to their website, it's a very basic website. You don't see the theme, right? There's not really like a theme going on there. It's just basically fragrances. And so I think that with this brand, when I look at a lot of their fragrances, when I see things like, you know, wormwood, like chloroform, arsenic, you know, nightshade, venom, hemlock, belladonna, cyanide, right off the bat, on their main page. To me, these are, you know, poisons, right? They're poisonous. They're dark. You know, something cynical about it. So it would be interesting to see more of like a gothic vibe, more of a cynical website that I think kind of ties their theme together with some of the names of their fragrances. Now, they do have many other fragrances, and I like I said, I encourage you to check them out. There's so many to choose from. It's one of these brands that really, you know, like here's one here, Blood and Bone. You know, here's the thing, Fuck Everyone. You know, Bewitch. I just don't think that their website, their branding doesn't really match kind of the vibe they're going for. And the vibe that I get is this very like witch-like, dark, gothic kind of vibe. And, you know, to me, I'd like want to see just a black website, you know, black and just this very gothic. And I think that would really tie their brand into more of what they're going for, you know. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think. Stuff like this is great because when you guys drop comments and talk about these brands, this stuff comes back to the company and companies get better and improve. And I think this company is doing itself a disservice by not really focusing on more on that darkness, you know, because that's the sexiness. To me, that's the intriguing part about this brand. Names like I just mentioned, this different world of darkness and evil. And, you know, I think it'd just be more suited to have their website reflect like some of the names of their fragrances. So just my 2 cents on marketing. But again, doesn't make it right. Just my opinion. But I do like the brand. I encourage you to check it out. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Subscribe to the channel and take care.